Thank you all for being here this evening. My name is Rachel Sonntag and I work with an organization called Save the Syrian Children. I'm a board member with the organization. I wanted to first thank HIAS and the Los Angeles Jews for Refugees Assembly and the planning committee for putting this event on and having us speak. More importantly, to all you beautiful souls out there in the audience, thank you for being passionate and caring about the refugee crisis. We couldn't do this work without you. As you witnessed in the video you just saw, the situation in Syria is absolutely gut-wrenching. The destruction of infrastructure, the chaos, the loss of life. Over 500,000 people have died, 50,000 of which are children. Targeting of schools, medical facilities, weapons of choice, gas and chemical attacks, barrel bombs used to inflict maximum amount of destruction. The ensuing refugee crisis, over 11 million people have been displaced, over 6 million of which are internally within Syria itself. To put that into some perspective, Los Angeles' city population is just about 4 million. So imagine a Los Angeles and a half of people completely moved out of their homes. This is the greatest humanitarian crisis of our generation. What compounds this crisis even more, humanitarian aid organizations aren't able to deliver the goods that they need to into Syria. And why is that? Well, the Assad government will not guarantee the minimum security for personnel, for convoys, in order to get these goods into where they're needed most, the hospitals. As a result, many NGOs are either pulling out of Syria or aren't able to get their goods and supplies that they need to where they're needed most. This is a UN convoy of goods that was bombed. You can see the kind of destruction of goods that are desperately needed, not getting to where they need to go. As in the case of many dictatorships, the al-Assad family and the government control a lot of the NGOs working within the country. The money and supplies don't know where they need to don't get to where they need to go to, and the worst possible catch-22 of individuals aren't getting the supplies and the help that they need. So what's the solution? This is obviously, a situation that there aren't a lot of answers to. The UN, our own government can't figure out how to stop this horrible situation. Well, there's a little bit of a sliver of hope. A young Jewish couple from Sherman Oaks by the name of Tamar and Phil Kused, unfortunately they weren't able to be here tonight, but they send their regards, asked themselves this very question about 1.5 years ago. How do we get supplies into the country where it's needed most to help the maximum amount of people? And they came up with a plan and termed it guerrilla humanitarianism. And it's essentially this foundation of Save the Syrian Children. Our strategy is really quite simple. Deliver life-saving medical aid to the places that need it most in the heart of the conflict in order to save as many lives as possible. So how do we do that? The devil's in the details, obviously. The plan may be simple, but the logistics are a little bit more complicated. So we first started reaching out to doctors on the ground in Syria and asked them, what do you need in order to try to help treat patients that you have without UN aid or organizations being able to help? And what we found is that preventable things like hemorrhaging and infection, if somebody even survived a bomb, they weren't able to stop these things from happening. Simple items such as cat tourniquets, gauze, clean surgical blades were items that are so simple yet so effective in helping treat patients. So one of our co-founders works in the sourcing business for over 20 years, and he was able to go factory direct to China to find these goods and be able to negotiate 60 to 70% less on pricing than many NGOs are. The reason he was able to do this, he had those connections existing through his company. Once we're able to locate these items at a cheaper rate, they go on a 40-foot container, which is put on a boat just like this, in order to save on shipping costs with existing goods that are already going over. We use existing trade routes from Shanghai all the way up through to the port of Mersin in Turkey. And once items are in Turkey, the Turkish government has been generous enough to allow these goods to go duty-free because they're humanitarian aid. Once they get to Turkey, we truck them over the Turkish-Syrian border into secret warehouses where our doctors literally go to the warehouses, get the goods, and bring them directly to the hospitals. Why are we able to do this? Well, the border that we travel over is controlled by the Free Syrian Army, a rebel group, so we don't need approval from the Assad government. Therefore, we're able to get the goods in. One of our other co-founders works in international development and is able to ensure that these goods get to where they need to go, that we're not dealing with any organizations or people that could take these goods away from where they're needed most. And we're able to vet these organizations and make sure they get where they need to go. Another route that we use is actually up through the south of Syria, and we actually partner with the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces. There are shipments that go through to Haifa, where they're trucked over by the IDF, just over the border into the buffer zone, into Syria, where our doctors from 15 hospitals pick up these goods and distribute them to the hospitals. And these are some of our doctors that we work with. Obviously very happy to get much needed aid. Once they get the medical aid, they're actually able to do what they need to do, which is save lives. This little baby right here, you'll see in a minute, is the recipient of treatment as a result of some of our shipments. Goods that would not be able to be put to use without our assistance in this case. This next little girl actually received a shipment from a Los Angeles company. These are crutches. It was an in-kind medical donation, which we were able to put to good use to help treat her when she was in Syria. Obviously, there's a lot more logistics, but this is sort of the brief overview. What we're finding is our strategy is working. In just over a year and a half, we've done 29 shipments to date, 50 hospitals. We service 50 hospitals in Syria, hundreds of doctors, thousands of patients have been treated as a result of these goods. 4 million items of medical supplies have gone into the country, and get this is what we're most proud of, valued at over $90 million in medicine and aid alone. Our strategy is working, but we couldn't do this work without everyday heroes like individuals like you here in this room. Which brings me to my closing. How can you help? This obviously feels like a big issue and a big situation. So there's a couple of different ways that we recommend. Obviously, donations are always welcome. Because we don't have paid staff or overhead costs, 100% of cash donations go directly to the purchase of medical supplies. Secondly, with these shipments, we also have an Amazon wish list, so additional supplies, diapers, baby goods, that sort of thing we send over supplementary. Third, introduce us. In-kind medical donations are the bread and butter as well for our work. If you're a doctor, if you're married to one, if you meet one in the grocery store, or one who lives down the street, nurses, anyone who works in the medical field, put us in touch. We can take it from there or introduce us, and we're happy to work with them to see if there's in-kind medical donations that they can supply. Lastly, clothing drive. There is one last item which we're going to share with you. Some of you may have seen we're doing a project. Temple Emmanuel is spearheading it with a number of Los Angeles Jewish organizations co-sponsoring. And it's going to be on Sunday, April 8th. We need volunteers, so if you're willing and able to help out, or to find out some of the ways to help that I previously mentioned, you can go to the website, www.thebigphil.org, sign up. We'd love to see all your faces there. And lastly, if you have any questions about our work, how we get supplies there, things we may need help with, you can check our information out at savethesyrianchildren.org. We would love to share our work even more, and thank you all for being here.